All right. Hello, everybody. It is Badger Wild, and we are back once again with a nice little bit of Space Engineers. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're still working on the missile destroyer. And the idea of this thing is to bring an absolute monster destroyer to this fight. So, what we've gotten done in the last video, we did a lot of work on what is in reality the engineering bay. We have dual backup systems. We have a backup power generator here, which is going to run on hydrogen. We have a series of main nuclear reactors. We got our oxygen storage, and we've got a lot of H2O2 generators because the bubbly thing is just nice. I like the bubbles. The bubbles are nice. We also have an under area down here, which I will have to add a light or something to the bottom of this so we can see where you're going while you're down here. And I'll just have to keep working stuff into it as we go. But yeah, so this is where we're going. We also have hydrogen tanks here that we're going to hook up via some piping here pretty quick, which I think I'm going to do here in just a minute. But we'll be able to hook up all the piping and everything and work a few more subsystems in, which will help us get this done. So right now, what we have, we've got the engineering. We have I believe, a 60 block long, 60 blocks we can work with. So it's like 60 freaking blocks. We can take that. Yeah, just checking to see if the sound is working so you guys can make sure you guys can hear me properly. But yeah, do streaming schedule. So fortunately with this streaming schedule, I can do this. I can do a lot of streaming. And I actually managed to get up this morning and work a little bit on some YouTube stuff. Or well, not YouTube stuff. Managed to work on some other things. So I'm trying to get that done. But hey, here we are. Here we are once again. So continuing on, we're gonna have to figure this section out here, and I'm gonna have to figure out these thrusters. And I want to work on the thrusters really badly, but we need to figure out. Also, I'm not going to do what I was originally going to do. I was going to run the missiles all the way up here in the front. I think I'm going to keep this kind of narrow up front, and we're going to somehow put the missiles up here and put a dual thrust, put like a single thruster in the front here to stop this thing. And I'm also going to have to figure out I'll just figure out a way to make it all work. We are going to have this section here, and we are going to have thrusters on the side. I just haven't figured out how I'm going to do the thrusters on the side. We're probably going to pull that and widen this sucker really big. And I want to use some subgrids, and I think we can do some subgrids. I think we're going to subgrid the thrusters in, or the auxiliary thrusters, which will be our auxiliary ion thrust. I can subgrid that in and make it look nice. Otherwise, no, we're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have um, a couple of systems that we can do on the helm for cruising capability, and for combat thrust, we're going to be using hydrogen the whole way. So that means I'm going to have to try to figure out a baffle system, and I think I've got a baffle system idea that'll work. It'll uh, it'll help with the system and keep the hydrogen explosions as far away from the rest of the ship as possible, except for these two hydrogen tanks right here, which will cause a whole lot of problems when they blow up. But them's the breaks. Anyway, while we're at it, let's go ahead and find my railing here. I'll put one railing there, and we'll do the other railing here. Oh yeah, that way we ain't got to worry about coming off. Only going until about 12 o'clock, so I know I'm getting in kind of late, but Like I said, them's the brakes. Now, we're going to do some coloring on this section pretty quick. I am also going to have to somehow introduce a well, I'm gonna have to figure out how to introduce. Well, I can do that right here. I can introduce two airfoil systems, just pushing air in right there. That'll just add a little more detail to the ship. We'll do that. We'll do that right now. Cut those off there. Still have access to everything, I hope. Go to air vents. We're gonna pull this air vent out. Pop one there, and pop one there. And thus we have air vents airing out the entire area. We have circulation now. So now for this main room here. And for this particular room, I kind of want to see if we can add some type of server area here without compromising too much. So where is our number 5? There it is. Now I got to remember I've got multiple levels here that I could take advantage of, and I think I'm going to try and take advantage of as much of them as possible. We're going to have one set of stairs going downward. So that's going to be a staircase going down, which will go into that area there. So let's go ahead and grab that staircase real quick. I'm going to put it in here. There we go. Just a nice set of half stairs going in. And then we get down here to the bottom. We'll just have to set another half set right here. Hopefully that is that. Okay, yeah, that's locked in. All right, that's locked in right there. That's not a problem. So now what we can do is we can now start adding in a server room at the bottom here. Let me find my programmable blocks because that's what we need. We need programmable blocks. We'll do that one, and this is just we're just going to throw in the server block because that's just awesome. So here's that. Here's that, and while we're at it, we'll add. Got lockers. Do we have anything else that'll work there? So we got lockers here. Is there anything else that will fit there? We got scientific equipment down here. I should put a console up there instead. That'll make things more interesting. Okay, we have a weapon rack. What in the world? Hold up now. We have some other things on the weapon rack. What we got here? We got a lab cabinet. Okay, we've got a lab freezer. That's interesting. I forgot we had those. We'll go ahead and just put lockers in here for now. That's all we really need. And then we'll go back to number 5 here. And we're going to spin this around so we can have access to that. And then that'll be the end of the server room. We'll just have this nice big server area. And I may add a... in fact, I'm going to do that. Let's do a regular air vent because that looks kind of nice. Or do I want a regular air vent? We've got air upstairs that's flowing. We're going to have to put in air thing up here to so we can have some air inside of this. I may just run a thing underneath it, a section of piping underneath. So we probably don't need no air. Let's okay, let's see what we got here. Mm, hmm. We've got these TV screen blocks. Yeah, we got these LCD screen blocks. I could have one like set kind of off a bit. Go ahead and just slap a random block right there. Set number 6. Do that right there. We can have a nice little panel to look at things from. So yeah, the server room's got to be kind of out of the way. So yeah, you come down here, you can go to here or there. This just locks down the server area. You have access to this, which we can give you access to the main area here. And I don't have to do anything else because it's already got air going to it. So it's not that big a deal. And I believe this is the block that's taking up this area. So we also got a locker room here. And then you walk upstairs and you're in the main room. We'll delete that and that. Because what we'll do next. Brexion, sup, Badger? How's it going? It's going great. What in the world? You got number 1. You got a king with a number 1 on there. That's awesome. Some kind of sticker or something? Let me see that there. What is this? Oh, it just means you're first. Hey, man, you're the first one to put something up. That's a reward now? That's awesome. All right. So we're going to try these console blocks. Because why not? We're going to do this and that. I'm probably also going to put some type of, well, actually, I'll tell you what we can do. We'll go back over here to number 2. I'll do that. And then all I need is, well, huh. I just realized this is going to make things interesting. Because, yes, I'm going to have the walkway there that I need to go down inside. I guess we're just going to pull that around the end there. That's pretty much all I'm going to be able to do. That sucks. That sucks. Because I want to keep you from falling into this thing. Because that's a big deal. And with that there, yeah, we're not going to be able to get through that. Okay. So no, we don't have that. So you can still get through it. Wonderful. I don't know what it is, but hey, it's nice. Yeah. Well, hey, guess what? That got an award for something. Unless you gave a super chat, which I don't think you did. I haven't got an alert for a super chat, so and those are open by the way. Just letting everybody know. So now what are we gonna do here? We've got these light blocks in the way. I think what I want to do is I want to take these out. I don't like the way those. Oh no, we did a boo boo. Oh boo boo, we did a boo boo. That's not good. All right, where's the number 3? Unable to place. What are you talking about? What do you mean it can't place? Hmm, that's interesting. Now it won't place it. Huh. Okay. Let's grab the console blocks again. We'll put one console block there, like see. Forgot we don't have a floor back there. Okay, and we'll place another console block with a. Actually, we'll do one right here. Ah, if I do that, I'm not going to have a floor. Why will you not go in? That's what it was. Now I got to put that back in place. Yeah, we'll do that. And there. So now we have a nice semi-rounding section here. We can also take and we're going to add one more just straight up console section here. So this is just a nice little room, and we have an observation area to look at. You can look out the observation area. You can be sitting in your chair, right? Well, you can almost see. And we got some buttons here we can shut off. I'll set up to where we can shut on and off certain systems in here, and that'll work out great. So now the next part here is I got to figure out how to form up this room. Number 9. That's not it. I had it here somewhere. Oh, I think it's this one. Well, let me see here. I don't want this one, I don't think. We're gonna go here, and we'll put one over here. And voila. Walk into the upper deck area. You can see into the ship, and then I can add a nice little area in the back here with a, let's just go ahead and put a heavy clad door right there. Oh, it's going to be difficult. Oh, it's going to be annoying. It's going to be annoying today. Okay. Let's go up one. I think that's what I need. I need one here, one there, and then we can just slap that thing in there afterward. By the way, Badger, what do you think of the upgraded battleship I shared in your Discord? It looks great, man. I'm not gonna lie. It looks really good. By the way, a lot of y'all ought to go check out Grexion's deal. If I do it like this, if you're attacking it, it's going to turn into a choke point that you got to get through that everyone knows how to shoot out of. Whereas the opposite direction, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. Okay, we'll get that figured out. So now the next question is, what block do I use next? What is the next area we are going to be running into? And I'm thinking what we need in this area is a stair, kind of a stairwell system. So we can go up and down, I would think. Badger says as he tries to figure out what his next move is. Okay, so I know this is just how wide that's going to be. So this is all working pretty good. We've got plenty of room to put stuff in and build with. I think we're going to put probably some stuff up front. And we're also going to have some kind of, I want to say an entry point. Not an entry point. we're gonna have some kind of deal in the bottom here. Unfortunately, I also got to figure out this floor. That's where we're gonna try out those new floor blocks. Let's try out that new floor block system they got. Hmm. Oh, this is nice. Oh, that is that's very interesting. That is interesting. What the next block here? What has it got? Oh, it's just a. Oh, that's nice. I hadn't really played with these very much. Oh, that's just a straight floor. That's just a 3 by 3 slab right there. Holy crap, that works pretty good. Does it cover the entire floor? Yes, it does. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, let's flip that over and see if it looks any different. It's not any different on the other side. Well, that's nice, but it's not what I'm looking for. Let's go back to the line system. That's looking good. Now, what we're going to do next, do that and just make the room look cool. That'll work perfectly. New blocks, meaning we have new options to work with. See, this is what I like about Space Engineer systems. The blocks just go together. There we go. We have all those together. Now let's see. Oh, dude, that is. Oh, that's amazing. Check that out, folks. That looks awesome. That ain't half bad. I'll say it right now. It doesn't look half bad. How about this upper area here? That's interesting, but let's see. What would a freaking light look like? One of the inset ones. Let me find it here. I think it's this. Nope. Number 7. So we got light panel. What's the bottom? Okay, yeah, we can't use that. Let's go light panel. See, that looks a lot better. We could do that. Put that there. I'll change the color of that at some point. And then number 8, we have room here. I believe somewhere. Yeah, there we are. Oh, come now. Yeah, that doesn't help at all. That didn't help at all. Okay. Yeah, that's not very helpful. But let's see if we can do something a little. Do something that'll work here better. Number 7. What's a console gonna look like there? See, we have this console screen. Uh, if I just had a screen that was a little bit taller, that'd really make this work out really well. Oh well. It's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Another thing we gotta do is we gotta figure out these upper deck areas. Let me see here. What do we got? Number 5 here. Got a pipe system right there that could work. Also got this that could work. Kind of looks like pipes going back into the system right there. But it ruins the sleekness of the entire system. It doesn't make it look as sleek. It's right here. Oh, it's that door. Thing looks weird from this end. Huh. Hmm. Hmm. I want to put a different thing here so that I can have this kind of open here, but then I realized I've got that right there, so I can't do that nonsense. I guess the best thing to do is just go here, like the rest of it, and just do that. And that'll solve much of the problems we got. We got an area here we can add something. I just don't know what I could add there. Grexion, my battleship is more or less done. I just need to make a thumbnail and take a screenshot for the workshop page. Yeah, I keep talking about it. I need to get together with you sometime and figure out how to do that. I know it's probably really easy, and I'm gonna feel stupid on how simple, on how brain dead and simple it is. But as of right now, I don't know. So let's half scaffold this. Yeah, that looks good. There was another half scaffold here. Oh yeah, there's one with a frickin' one thing. Let's not do that. Let's do that. Now it looks like it's got some like reinforcing in the room. That makes it look good. So server room is done. Server room, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make that work good. So the next room's gonna be this one, which I gotta figure out something to do with. That's gonna depend on how I finish up this room. Hmm. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Let me look here and see. Nope, nope, nope. Number 5. Let me see. Hmm. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. We'll think about it. You just go roaming space engineers, local BP folder, and replace the thumb there and make sure it's called the same. Also, the size limit. There's a size limit, so you'll need to shrink the thumbnail down. I find 950 to 534 to be perfect. Yeah, what I want to do is I want to be able to modify. I'd like to be able to modify those units and make those things look good. Let me see. Can I do this here? Yeah, that'd look good there. I don't know how I'm doing this centerpiece. I've got to figure out how to do it. I'm wanting to do something to where I run a couple hoses on through here. So I don't know. I know I've got at least one point of room here. I don't know how I'm going to run this whole nonsense. We're going to find out as we go on. We'll find out as we go on. I've also got a slight thing going on with my mic. Hold on. Okay, is that going on? No, it's gone. Okay, so I had it on the wrong setting apparently. That sucks. All right. So now, how are we doing this next room? So what we could do is we could do a hallway system where we have a floor base here. I could also set it up to where we have two walkways going upward into the upper level, which would go to here, which is a good spot for the bridge. I'm not going to lie. It's a good spot for the bridge. We should do that. We'll put something here. That also means I'm going to need to put some type of let's take a look at them floor blocks again, because they were nice last time. Oh, that's interesting. We're gonna play with that. Okay, and we'll do one here. Well, uh, oh, hey, yes, yes, yes. That looks awesome. Now, so the next thing I need is the ladder blocks. Do a big, nice run of the mill upper and lower deck kind of thing going on here. Now, for this area on the side here, I have to do something interesting with that. That's going to be a fun one. Mm, hmm. Okay, those aren't going to work. Let's grab number 5 again because that's our interior block. Now what I'll probably do is, since this is a floor, we need to go up a floor 2. We're going to just go ahead and take that out entirely. That'll give us something to work with there. Number 4 is back again. And then we have that going up there, which will take us up into the higher areas of the ship to an extent. And then to make that work even better, here's another thing we'll do. We'll slap a ramp in here, which will go right about there. And that'll give us there. And then we go right up into the next level. Like so. And you can operate down here and up there and every which way. I think I could also add a couple of pipe blocks. I could add pipe blocks, but that's just going to make the thing look weird. Hmm. Now I can also go in here, pick the absolute best block. Not that one. But we're going to pick this block here. Put those there. And then let's grab our light block. Wait. I did not. I did. Dadgummit. I thought this was all connected. No. Why is this not powering on? See, these lights are supposed to be on, and they're not. I have a sneaking suspicion. Let's go ahead and rip those out again. Another frickin' drone has showed up. Alright, take all that out again. We'll have to reassert some dominance here. I'm telling you, those things are supposed to light up. Yeah, like that. This stuff here must not have been connected. That just must not have connected. That's bad. Why not make a spiral staircase would take up less space? Right, it would. Why not think of that? We'll delete all this. See, this is why it's cool to do things with a chat. because y'all come up with some interesting ideas. Now, the kicker here is, how do we go up and down? So one of these is going to have to go up, and the other one is going to have to go down. That's the interesting aspect here. Huh. Now, what I could do also, I have this set into like different room areas. Huh. A problem with the spiral? Well, no, not really. I just don't know how I'm going to do that. This next section here could just be where everyone comes through. We have engineering. We have living quarters. We have the cargo bay underneath. And then you have the bridge up top. And the problem is I'll have to take this out too because that flooring is just not going to look good with the staircase when it goes in. So we've got one staircase here, which will go down, and then a second staircase that's gonna, well, actually, we'll just put the staircase on the side. That'll work beautifully. That'll work out perfect. I don't know what we're gonna do this side, but because this enters into the living quarters, I'm gonna have to add something here to mess that area off. And then, actually, we may. Yeah, we've got our pipings coming through here, so we'll just have the piping come up and drop a, what is it? An air tank or an air area. And then we can build a central access point here underneath the bridge, and then start running living quarters and stuff down through here, while we also run the other quarters and stuff on the bottom. That'll work out perfectly. That'll do good. Now the kicker here, this is going to be the kicker, is what am I going to use for that area? Because one of the things I'm going to want to do, well, we got these corridors here, so we could use one of these. I just need something. Number 5. We can put some tubing right here. Make it look like you're going down into a tubing area. And all that'll look connected. And then we just grab this. And I can put the new corridor block in here. And we'll give this a bit of a run. We'll have an opening there. A light, and then the this opening here. So you just kind of walk on through. You're on your way to engineering through here. Doesn't actually look good. So yank all that out. Let's see here. What else have we got? We got these other corridors. These look nicer for what we're wanting to do. Let's do that so you can see someone going up. I think there's one here that has just the thing on the side. Wait, window, roof? No? Yeah, this one here. I'll just put the window right there, and then I can... Nope, that's not it. And that's going up. And that'll have to whip around for a second point. We'll have to have something right there, because this will be the upper area right here. And then that's going to go up into the bridge, which will come to about right there. And then we can just work it the rest of the way off the ship, just like that. So the spiral staircase, yeah, great idea. We're putting this on the side so I can just run right up it. And then, because of those pipes right there, we have another problem. This just became another problem. I think I can fix it, though. I don't know what that's going to have to become. Yeah, I was connecting to that. So we need more pipes going down. Because that's going through the floor. Let me see here. Number 4. Down like that. And I may, let's see here. We need a something. There's no way I'm getting through that. Oh, wait. I know. So I'll know you place everything. Now then, where is that one magic block that has been working out so good? The new floor block, which is just super handy. Look at that thing. Just absolutely handy little block to have. And I think I can actually work this thing in so that when you walk in here, see, it's got all these extra connections here. So when your character walks in, they're walking along with this thing. It's nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually really cool. I could actually let me pull this up here. Yeah, we'll do that, and then boom shakallah right there, baby. And then I can use this line to take people into the main corridor area. I also have to figure out how that works. Now, there is the problem here. We'll throw that on there just for giggles for the moment, because I've got to also figure out this thing. I want to use those round blocks so bad. So this should open you up into a new area, which if I play my cards right, I can probably put a 2 wide cargo area in here. That'll fit nicely, I think. I'm just gonna need this bad boy. I'm gonna need something here because actually, I'll tell you what would work way better than that. Let's do a narrow corridor. I know that sounds stupid, but hear me out. We have this narrow corridor we can go through. Oh no. Why am I having trouble getting up here? Oh, it's that thing. Man, couldn't you just be a little more cooperative? Just a eensy bit more cooperative than what you are. Okay, okay. Hmm, hmm. Let me think here. Oh wait, I have an idea. I like that. Like that, actually. Okay, can I even get through here? Okay, we can get through here. We're just colliding with the system too much. There's a way to do this, guys. There we go. All right, we can get through here. Always got to test out these corridors. Make sure we can go from point A to point B. So now we got the spiral staircase almost figured out. It's working out beautifully. It'll take us up into the main hall area. Then we've got entryway into the main area, which will be awesome because I can actually. No, that's not going to work. Hmm. Hmm. No, that won't work either. Well, that's interesting. Now that's going to work. Okay. So, like I said, none of this is working like I wanted it to. Well, we'll work with that somehow in another thing. Top fans. Oh, it must be a top fans thing. I just saw that on the one deal. Yeah, that's what it is. You got like 75 XP for that. Huh. YouTube handing out XP like it's a video game. That's cool. Now I'm kind of interested to see what happens if someone super chats. Not for greed purposes. I just want to know what'll happen if one of y'all super chats. Because Could do like $1. I want to see what it does. If it like adds, if I someone dethrones Grexion and suddenly they become the number one fan, it's, it's like, huh? Here it is. YouTube's figured out a way to pay to win. God. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna put one of these right there. Y'all don't have to do that if you don't want to, okay? If y'all don't want to super chat, you don't have to, okay? I was just sitting there musing to myself. I wonder what would happen if we super chatted or something. Wonder how that would go down. We don't need to know. Let's see. Number 9. Here's an idea. Was it an idea? It may not be. Make a test account and try. Yeah, I don't have two accounts, so that won't be possible. Hold up now. What we got here? I forgot about this. This might be doable for the airlock. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we may have just gotten ourselves something nice started here. Giveth me a moment. Oh yes, this might work nicely. Oh, check that out. There's our fancy schmancy airlock. Actually, I don't want to use that there. I want to use that right here. We'll figure out a different door for this. Lab doors are nice. Let's stick with an oldie but a goodie. Put the Kim put a sliding door right there, which would do decent. And we can put that one door on the side. Pull it in. Unfortunately, I'll figure out this corridor later. Because unfortunately, it is 12:10. Now you get to bed. Getting a lot of work done though. We got the server room done. We're fixing to start working on a jump room, which is going to be connected, or like a junction room, which is going to be connected to the ship. I need to look at some junction rooms to see what I can build and how I can make that kind of look good. And then we'll also have crew quarters and yeah, and then we can start adding weapon systems to this thing. So I've got an idea for the weapon systems, which will be pretty interesting. I think instead of running a uh, a weapon system normally like we would do, whereas I was going to have it to where the missile popped up, I think I want to do a vertical launch system on the sides and have it send. And then we'll have one large artillery turret up top, a couple of boomer turrets, and about 4 assault cannon turrets on each side. Because this thing's primary, actually, we probably get away with just assault cannon turrets because they'll shoot faster. And I could actually do, I know what I could do. We could make a custom triple battery assault cannon turret and then salvo fire that baby. So when it shoots, it's Dun 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 every time it fires, and we have two of these nifty looking turrets on top that just dun 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 dun, just firing off at each one, firing off each end. That would be cool. That would be awesome. We're going to build those turrets, and then we'll have a couple custom anti-gun turrets. Might be able to add custom double gun CWIS turrets, as well as a set of custom. I'm going to try and figure out how to customize up a nice set of autocannon turrets so that when we're firing off, these things are just like pounding away, and then when we fire off the main guns, they're just lobbing one right after the other. And the cool part about the vertical launch tubes is that the not vertical, horizontal launch tubes is we can just fire off the missiles and they'll just run down the length of the ship from the launch system. And as they run down the length of the ship, we don't have to worry about it. Then I can also add the auxiliary thrusters to the backs of these things and kind of tilt them in so that if something happens, how long are you planning on making that destroyer? For a while. Once I get to the skinning of it, it won't take very long. We're going to, right now with the progress that's going on, we're getting like a room and a half done. It's like we got the engineering main section of engineering done here. This is main engineering. Underneath that is, let me think here. Underneath this section of engineering is the fuck server room. That's where most of our servers and stuff are at. And then in here is the main engine room, which houses our main engines and our other engines and stuff like that. So we can run all that. And then we have our spiral staircase getting started. We're going to have the bridge up here, which I may do that last. Going to punch into here so I can make a nifty looking hallway out of this. And then we'll have crew quarters and stuff like that all over the place. Probably have a three. This will probably do an open area, which I will try to set up some type of airlock system on the side so we can set this ship somewhere, kind of dock it in place, and then you can go in and out of the ship if you want to from either side. And then set up a, if I'm thinking of this, let me think. There is a way to do this. I'll have to go check an old build that someone made. I can't remember if it was the Immensity or if it was the one deal. I have to see how they did the hallways because the hallways looked dope in that one. And then I can set up the hallway to work a certain way so that we'll have a laboratory room and all that other stuff. And then this whole length here will just be crew quarters and crap. And then underneath this, we've got nearly 2 blocks for, and I'll just delete some stuff here. We've got 2 blocks for a small hangar bay. That, with the right maneuvering here, I can have a series of blocks running across the top here, and that can have a like a small craft that can hook up in there. And I'll figure out how we're going to do that craft. We'll probably make some type of custom boarding shuttle. In fact, we could probably mount 3 boarding shuttles to this thing if I had the room. So let me see just how tall. Before we go, let's see how tall the F-302's wings are. Yeah, that's a tall order right there. So we may not be able to get the F-302 in, but we might have to make a new fighter specifically for the destroyer. Actually, thinking about it, where's the Saber? Nope, I pushed the wrong button. Do I have a more recent one? No, I don't. I pull up the F-61 here. So we got a Sabre. The only problem is the Sabre's docking clamp is on the bottom. Let me see here how big a Sabre is in comparison. Easiest way to do this. Let's do that. And slap in there. So we're dealing with see, this is a problem with Space Engineers. There is not a doorway that works for this. Let's get it out of there. Now, he's a mini fighter. I have one I recently made on my workshop called the Frog. I may look at it. I may look at it because the thing about the Sabre is it's going to be hard to get the Sabre in and out. Of course, we only need about a 6 area. Let me put this almost exactly halfway here. No. Yes. All right. And we got that working there. Let's go up one more. So the Sabre will fit, I believe. Oh, that's centralized, isn't it? All right, so it's safe to say the Sabre could get in and out of that. How many blocks tall is that? Let's find out. That is a grand total of 5 blocks tall. Now, wait a minute. See, that's the kicker right there. If I put this in sideways somewhere on the ship, we'd be able to get in. But the problem is I don't know if I can get that thing in there sideways. Of course, we could take the length of the top. Or actually, the only problem here is if we bring in F302s, we're only going to carry so many F302s, at least maybe one. And it may be better. It may be better to not have strike craft. We may just be better off having like utility craft for like moving stuff. So probably two cargo units that can come in and out of the side that we can use the smaller doors with. We're going to look at how big this is. So, like, we could use the smaller door that we got now, which will work fine. And that's like that's like 2 blocks wide. So as long as we can bring something out of there that's about 2 blocks wide, utility craft, we could have like 1 repair unit and like a really, really cheap repair unit. And then also have a fairly cheap mining unit or a moving unit. So we could double up the repair unit, 1 repair arm on one side and a um, magnetic clamp on the other, make it about 2 wide as a small ship. It would just have to be 2 wide. Let's see. Let's throw a landing gear up here and take a look at that real quick. Just future planning. That's what we're doing right now. We're just future planning for the next time. I may make this off screen. Okay. R. Yeah, right there. So there's the magnetic cargo clamp right there. And then the welder. And you just have to get the cargo clamp at about the right distance of the welder. Other than that, something like this would easily get out of here. You just need that little clamp. Or, I'll tell you what we could do. I'll tell you exactly what we could do. This would look so much cooler. We'll do this for a moment. And I'll show you what my idea is. Do that there. And then we can set the mag clamps right there. So then our small mini Joker, and that's actually the right size for a small ion thrusted unit. And that small utility craft would be enough. Like, we'll have to push these landing gear out just maybe another block more. Just 1 more block. I think I'll do it. It would still be able to weld, but it'd also be able to do other stuff. And we could just have a small cargo container in the one of those small cargo connectors. And it could either connect to the floor or it could connect to the side. And we can just have a through deck going through, connect both of those up so they're right there. Oh, this is turning into an expansive little project in its own. So now we have this. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I guess we could also throw some ion thrusters on there. Yeah, that'd be far enough away the ion thrusters wouldn't be touching it. Then you could run around and do like minor repair work to the ship and whatnot. And then mod the thrusters coming off of here a certain way. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. And that would be just that wouldn't even be the big door. Because if I'm right, yeah, that's just the small gate. That's all that is. That's just the small gate. It doesn't have to be a massive gate. It doesn't have to be massive. No, it doesn't. Ah, and then that would be the height of the. That'd be the height of the room. F-25 Frogfoot to be specific. Oh, nice. Put a link to it in the Discord, and I'll take a look at it. Because if this works out here, we're gonna have a small cargo area here where I can store in, and that's this wall here is the first outside section of the ship. So we'd have a nice big area to put a ship in and maneuver it around and whatnot. And then we could have a ship that we could have a magnetic plate room in here for magnetic cargo. So we could just go snatch on like a couple of big barrels, go in there and just set them down the magnetic plate. Would let gravity pull them in, and then hit the mag plate and just lock it in place. Have a series of cargo containers we could work with. What just popped up on my screen here? Oh, it's a solar barge. So long as he stays away, he'll be fine. And then this thing will be ready to go. But yeah, it'd be a nice little small area to pull that out. We don't need fighters with this thing because it's a monster in its own right. What'll happen is I'll set the missiles up and figure out what the timing is to launch a missile out of this thing. And we're gonna need the missile to somehow hit. I'm gonna need it to hit max speed when it comes out the gate. I'll have to figure that out. Grexion, I may give you a call if I can't figure it out on my own. But yeah, that way we can launch that. Like I said, we've got this nice big area. This whole section here could be turned into a small hangar bay with some cargo, and we'd still be able to bring those small ships in, maneuver them around. That way, you can move big cargo in and out. And at the size of it, I wonder, can it? Yeah, you can move some big cargo pieces like this. Could turn one of these into a cargo hauler. Just need a battery, just a cargo sled. Bring it in, hook it up, fly it back out. Wouldn't be that big a deal. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. We'll figure it out. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Getting to see how the ship is going. We'll pull back here and get a nice money shot for you guys. So you can see the ship, how it's coming along. We've got a nice big engineering area. We probably moved up about, I'd say, a little over a quarter of the ship. Interior is done. Then we just got to skin this thing properly. Yeah, Grexion, if you need help, any help, I'm free for a call. Nice. I don't know. May depending on how that goes down, I might need some help with the missiles, making them get to a high enough speed so that in combat this thing can launch its missiles and get them out of the tube fast enough. But the missile tube system is going to be a little different. It's going to make the ship look really cool though, with these missiles flying out of it. But anyway, folks, I hope you guys have enjoyed this wonderful video. Hope you enjoyed the time that we've been here checking this stuff out. Eric Evans, same. All right, you got number 2 on there. So I guess the two of you, I guess y'all the top 2 fans, I suppose. I guess is what it's saying here. Yeah. So Grexion is the top fan, and Dog is the number 2. Grexion's leading with 125 XP, and Dog is right behind him with 50. So That's a nifty little thing. I wonder if y'all get something out of it. I'd have to know. See you, Grexion. Yeah, I'll see y'all. And thank you all for watching. This is Badger Wild saying stay safe, stay frosty. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Next time it's going to be Wednesday, and Wednesday night we may do some Helldivers because tomorrow is going to be interesting. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye for now.